everyone. Welcome to the club. Thank you for coming to today's stream. We got Mike hopefully working. That was an issue last week, and now it's got me worried that it's gonna be a problem again. But I think we're okay. It seems that everything is working. Yeah. Okay. We're good to go. Today I'm gonna be trying not to spoil Picard because holy fucking shit. I almost was like, I didn't make a stream schedule this week because, I mean, shit happened. I guess I could tell that story too, on top of what I was like working on. Why does everything look so dark? Has it just been that long since I cut my bangs that I don't remember what like it looks like, when I have bangs? I know this can go brighter. Maybe that was it? I don't know. I can't tell. There is like a foot of snow outside that is reflecting the light out there, so I kind of tried to close the blinds just a little bit. Probably we could even close them. Maybe that's why. That's why, actually. I need to turn the blinds the other direction. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit too much backlight coming in there because the snow is just reflecting all the sun and sending it straight through that window. And I think I had the lines pointing like down instead of up, so I think the light was still like coming through a little bit. Yeah, okay. This is fine. We're just gonna hop on main today because I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see. We'll see. Star Trek Online will tell us what we're doing today. I know I'm not going to that fucking battle zone. I ignored that endeavor yesterday, and I will probably ignore it again today. I don't like that place. So, I do know that I was working on some of these, so I'm gonna get, like, my last Omega things going. We're all good. The fleet's been going well. Definitely got some I should just grind more dilithium, but I know we've got somebody who's doing most of the dilithium for us, but like, you know, you can only refine so much in a day. Welcome, Mark Der Chief. Coming for the vibes. Yeah, this was not planned, so I was just like, I haven't been online this week. I wanted to make my schedule on Monday because I knew what my schedule was going to be for the week, but then shit happened. I had to do a little bit, I don't know, I don't know why it was such an issue, because it was not like it was a super high effort performance. Like I've performed this, it wasn't even like my first time debuting like a song live. It's a cover medley that I've done before. I did this like back in November, just that's not that long ago in terms of how often my performances are. Harvest Materials Space and Dabo. Oh, we should go to Dabo on DS9. But yeah, I was like, you know, this is not something that I need to be stressed about performance-wise, but apparently I did stress out about it. Defense of Starbase 1 will be momentarily unavailable in 10 minutes. Oh, guess I'm not playing that for my event. Yeah, but, like I was saying, I was performing on Tuesday, and all of Monday I just spent trying to get ready for said performance, and I thought my new unit was gonna debut. We didn't, because it was a blizzard. Like I said, there's a foot of snow outside today, and this blizzard started Tuesday and went all the way through Wednesday. So it was fucking ridiculous. But basically, oops, wrong thing. There's the right thing. But basically, it was it was with Weeb Streets. It was our first like club event, so it was one of our first like really like independent like community type events. So it was really stressful because this event kind of was what was going to determine if we were able to do future events at this venue. And there was a fucking blizzard, and we only had like, I don't remember how many people we were gonna have in total, but multiple people that were gonna come ended up dropping out. And just on the performer and like staff side, multiple people were like, hell no, which I don't blame them at all. I don't blame anybody. The only thing I blame myself for is trying to pick up that slack, and I should have just I have this problem where like I have a limited level of functioning, right? Being having, you know, like disabilities and stuff that aren't even being 100% treated right now because we don't 100% know what's going on. So that's like a rough spot to be in when I'm trying to be helpful, because I don't like to feel like I'm useless. But it's like the majority of what I do with the group is not usually the heavy lifting stuff. But because we had limited people, I'm sitting there like, well, I gotta do something. Like, I can't just sit here and be useless. So I definitely overworked myself, and that was my own fault. That was not anybody else's fault. We were having a party in here for some reason. I don't know why. I just came in here to drop off my things. I think that's the only thing I've got for here from the... Oh my god, that's loud. I think that's the only rep thing I got in here. Oh, right. We're gonna go play Dabo. Here we are. But yeah, so like I was saying, I don't blame anybody for not wanting to drive in the blizzard, because it was not fun. I wouldn't have personally driven in it. If I would have lived further away, like... I would not have been there at all. I would have also been like, bye! But I was only like a little bit away from the venue, but it took us like an hour to get home from what's normally a 15-minute drive because of the blizzard. But luckily, again, it also was like I wasn't alone for the drive. There was just a bunch of factors that made it so like it was feasible for me to go, but it was like, I don't blame anybody for staying home because it was terrifying. But we had so many people show up, and I'm like, what are you guys doing here? Like, you're coming here and paying to be here when it's fucking, like, it's blizzarding outside. Like, by the time we were, like, leaving, we also had a couple, mishaps. Like, the group leader and also the person who was driving me home was, she lost her car keys. So... we had to have someone bring the spare to us in the blizzard, and oh my god, so many things went wrong, but so many things went right. It was a time, and we may or may not see the footage from that performance, because I have a little fan cam somebody took, but I feel like I looked really, really weird during my performance, and I didn't do great. Hello, Seta, welcome. I'm just catching everybody up on my week. So
spin the wheel and win.
In addition to all of that bullshit related to the performance, which I have a lot of GPL I probably could bet. Nah, I do have a lot of energy credits too. Oops. We'll do 1,000, and then we can do some distributed slots. Why not? But yeah, so many things were good. I don't want to make it seem like I'm completely complaining that everything was bad, because it wasn't. Like, that's not what happened. But I'm just like thinking back on all the things that went wrong is honestly like really wild, because like there was just so much. And yeah, but overall I'm really happy that people like showed up. I was like, I was feeling the vibes. What are we gonna get? Yee! I guess I got 3,000. I want to play some more though, because why not? But now, I'm still like exhausted. Like my body is exhausted. And yesterday I had to do a bunch of like stuff that, like, administrative stuff for something that I can't really talk about. But like I had to do a bunch of that yesterday while I was snowed in because of oh, I am like getting some latinum today. Not that I can use it for anything. Like, what do you do with latinum? It's just, I feel like it's just fun to have. I don't know. I'm cursed, I know. But yeah, so I don't know. My next event is coming up at the end of March, which is terrifying. Because I'm not ready, and I realized I forgot. So I'm doing 2 panels there, and I completely forgot about one of them. Like, completely forgot that I was doing this one about, this, because I have an 18+ panel, and then I have a, all ages panel, and the all ages panel is an informational J-pop idol panel, and I was like, I was like, oh my god, I have to scramble and make like a PowerPoint and shit. Okay, I'm done. My luck ran out. But I was like, I have to make a PowerPoint and shit, and I have not thought about what I'm gonna put in this at all. Like, I had an outline, basically, but I was kind of thinking, oh, I'll just pull up some of my panel information from, like, what was it, 2018 or 2019, when I did another panel. I was like, I'll just pull some of that information. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is all not right anymore. The industry has changed so much that, like, I'm just gonna have to start from scratch. It's like, I don't know what to fucking do. So anyway, I'm working on that. But, God. It's been a time. That's why I was saying, I was like, in order to try to avoid spoiling Picard, I will talk about J-pop idol history if y'all would like. Because here, I'll explain in a minute. I have a thirsty comment redeemed for you, but it's spoilery, so maybe I'll wait until Picard ends. I mean, if it's somebody that appeared in the trailer, it's okay. The only reason I'm trying not to spoil it is because I know there's a lot of people who haven't been able to watch it yet. I will probably, some of my Thursday streams, not have a spoiler-free policy. Just this one, like, is no spoilers. Just maybe next week, depending on I don't know when I'm streaming next week. It'll probably be a light week again, maybe only 1 or 2 streams. But one of those, maybe I will say spoilers okay for Picard, and then you can do it then. But yeah, I just know, like, not everybody's up watching it early, like my like wild ass. No, today's episode, like, just, it sent me to the sky, and so I'm like, I can't talk about it, because if I do talk about it, I'm gonna start just, like, spoiling everything. Yeah, just hold off on it, just in case, I guess. But yeah, so my presentation should include Morning Musume, at least in the pictures, if I don't mention them, because I'm not really mentioning a lot of groups by name. No, this is a funny story. Seda, I'm curious if you know this fun fact. It's not fun, it's a terrible fact, but, like, it's a fun fact. I don't know. What the hell? I think I have a scam caller. Has anybody noticed that, like, there's all these scam callers that have been calling people recently that have, like, verified numbers? And I'm like, what? Verified number? Like, I know this is a scam. Yeah, anyway, but when I was deep diving into some some idol history. It reminds me I need to do my daily. Oh, not yet, not yet. I can't do my daily yet. Damn it. This is what I get for playing at like 11 p.m. last night. Anyway, so when I was deep diving into some research, I was like, I was trying to, wait. Let's do this. Anybody want to do Gateway to Grethor? So I can destroy some Herald ships? But anyway, like I was saying, while we wait to see if anyone is interested, I knew like this, like a little bit of this history, but I was specifically trying to do some deep dive research to see if there was any way that I could not mention a certain person in this presentation. Because my problem is, and the problem that I run into with a lot of stuff, is that the Western perception of idols is very bad. It's very typically negative. Because if you Google things, like, if you just look up AKB48, one of the first things you will see is that one scandal. Like, that's the first thing you'll see, and that's like all, and then people take that and they're like, oh, this must apply to all idols, you know? Because the one issue with J-pop is that the globalization is not as much as like something like K-pop, so it can be a little bit harder to get into. Nobody's down for Gateway to Grethor. I am gonna just hop in. But yeah, so basically, I was trying to see if there's any way I could get around mentioning one specific individual. And I realized that that's not true. And this individual is a man, referring to the head shave thing. Yes, that picture pops up. I have since instituted a policy that I try not to talk about that scandal when I do like introduction panels anymore, because I used to think like, oh, well, people are gonna find it anyway, so I gotta explain it. But I was like, you know, it's just really not worth mentioning, I think, because if you're gonna talk about like idol controversy, you can do it in a more generic way that doesn't like kind of bait people to go specifically Google this shit. Basically, you're just kind of, I feel like you kind of have to address it because otherwise people are going to ask, but you don't have to, I don't have to address that specific situation because again, like there's just so many layers of things where it's just like, I don't want to get into it. It's like, it pops up every couple of years. No, you're so right. It is just this thing that people can't let go of. And I was like, guys, not only was this years ago, but this is also like, people just keep twisting it and turning it into something that it's not. And I was like, if you're going to talk about AKB48's controversy, there's a lot worse that has gone on too. Like, seriously. I don't know why the hyper focus on this one thing from the public. That's not anywhere mentioned in the panel. But what I was trying to avoid mentioning is specifically an individual by the name of what was his name again? Johnny Kitagawa, I believe. I think that's his last name. But yeah, the guy from Johnny and Associates is probably how most people know him. But he is this. He's this kind of. I mean, my thing is like, look, he's dead now. Like, whatever. But yeah, he had a lot of issues with his just everything. He was kind of like the OG when like AKB48 came up. Like Akimoto got his ideas from this guy, and that's part of why there's so many problems with it, is because it was inspired by this guy groups. Because this guy's been exploiting young young boys and men since like the 60s, no joke. And it's like, but I was looking into it and I was like, okay, is there any way I can explain the history of idols without bringing this guy up? And I was like, no, I can't, because one of my sections is like K-pop versus J-pop, because that's something that's like, we have a lot more K-pop fans in this state, so it's like I want to try to get people in there and like see some similarities, you know, respect the origins, because without J-pop we actually wouldn't have K-pop, fun fact. But I was like, I can't not mention this guy because the training method that is actually used for K-pop idols came from this fucker. I'm like, why? There's no getting away from him. And so literally, like, without him, we would not have any of, like, modern K-pop as it is. But, like, he's a terrible person. So, like, I don't want to give him, like, more attention, especially because, like, Johnny's is almost not at all known in the West, but outside of, like, idol circles. So it's like, I don't want people going and, like, looking him up because there's so much better out there. I'm on this rant too long. I needed a sip, but yeah, so this is so, like, not related to the game I am playing, but yeah, a lot of just everything is connected to this guy. And again, even like Akimoto, who started AKB48 and all the sister groups, like, he has ties to this guy, which I knew about that, but it's like just this web of how this, like, genre got so popular, like, not really the genre, but the concept got so popular, is all traced back to this guy who literally is, like, nasty. I wouldn't object to more J-pop talk on stream. I thought about, like, doing more, like, to kind of have, like, Trek talk and, like, J-pop talk in different streams, but, like, at the same time, that's not how my brain works. If somebody brings up J-pop, I'm gonna talk about J-pop. If somebody brings up Star Trek, I'm gonna talk about Star Trek. Like, I don't care what I'm playing. The only exception is something like Bridge Commander, where, like, I have to focus on the story. Then I'm probably not gonna be going off on too many tangents, but it still happens. But yeah, I just love J-pop so much. I made this, like, fun little chart. Oh, this is the other thing that I was having a lot of fun with. So I'm also trying to go at it from the angle of how a lot of people think that, like, J-pop idols are this super, like, foreign concept that's just so unfamiliar to them. And so I'm also coming at an angle, not only to appeal to the K-pop stans, but to appeal to more of, like, the general public. I'm also going at the angle of, look at Disney Channel from, like, I don't know, like, when this really stopped, but it's like, I would say, like, it kind of peaked around, like, between, like, I don't know, like 2005 and, like, 2015 maybe at the latest. Like, that era of Disney Channel was, like, so similar to J-pop idol culture. And I think the reason that Disney has kind of slowed down on some of that is because of the issues with it. The same issues that have come into play in J-pop idol industry. Like, it's kind of just wild to me. But it's also a lot of fun because I made this, like, lovely slide. Oh my god, maybe later on this stream, if I get bored of Star Trek Online, we'll look at my PowerPoint so far, because there's not enough on it that's gonna be, like, giving anything away, but it's gonna be fun. So I have this slide, and I went through and I have a picture of, like, the AKB48 sports festival, or one of them. I don't know. I don't know as much about, like, the sports festivals or anything. Those are the things that I really same thing with, like, anything to do with, like, the senbatsu and stuff. Like, I don't really like to concentrate on that as much. But Akimoto had a similar group of idols in the 90s called the Onyanko Club. Yeah, that's the thing, is, like, he had been building up to AKB48 in a lot of ways. And he had, like, written lyrics for groups that were produced by Johnny. Like, there's there's so again, the connections run so deep. It's wild, but troop transports inbound. We're like 4 of us over here. What? Oh no, nope, there's 3 of us. I was like, that's an NPC. What was I saying?
Shipyard troop transports are beginning their run to the planet.
Hold on, gotta find the enemies. But yeah, I think Akimoto married one of the Onyanko idols. Oh no. Cause that's not a suspicious power dynamic at all. Cursed! Yeah, there's so much stuff that goes on in like the idol industry that like I'm just like, look, if you can go do that on your own. I just want people to know like that there's so much there's really a lot of just like unfounded like hate that comes from that is toward the J-pop idol industry from people who just don't understand it, because all they see is like, you know, the bad stuff and they don't see any of the good stuff that comes out. Because I was like, there's a shit ton of independent groups who have absolutely nothing to do with any of these like exploit, like they have nothing to do with the exploitation and shit from these producers that are weird as hell. Like you can't say the whole industry is like that, because it's not. And that's part of what I like about the J-pop industry, is that you have all that variety and not everybody is managed by like a huge company like one of those. Not that I don't love some of the music that comes out of those. It's just like morally I prefer smaller independent groups, because like, you know, a lot of reasons. I don't remember what I was saying about. Oh yeah, I was on my thing about the Disney Channel thing. So the Disney Channel thing's really wild because I found pictures. So I've got one of the AKB48 like sports festival, or it might have been like not just AKB48, but like all the groups maybe, because it was a lot of people. But you never know. Those groups are huge. But I got one of their sports festival, and then right under it, it evokes the same exact energy as this picture of one of the teams from the Disney Channel games. It's the same energy. No joke. So I have that like below it, underneath it. And then I've got a picture of, who was it? I think it's an older picture of the Juice Group from Hello Project. Like juice equals juice, but I never know if you're supposed to say the equal sign or not. Yeah, I know that's how it's written, but I was like, I never know if you're supposed to say the sign in the middle of it, or if it's just like juice. I don't know. I call them juice, but basically I hear people say juice. Yeah, I do too, but like usually they're people that I told that like that I told about the group, so they picked it up from my ass. But yeah, I've got like an older picture of them from like around the same era of the Disney Channel thing that I was talking about. Like it might be a little later, like I think it's like 2013 or 2012 or something. I don't remember exactly, but I grabbed the picture from the wiki and I put that there, and then right below it there's a very similar picture with like the same plain white background promotional image of the Cheetah Girls. And then my last one, it was a screenshot from the Koisaru Fortune Cookie music video. And then there's a picture of Hannah Montana underneath it, because in the pictures, like, the vibes are kind of the same because there's like a curtain behind them and like the kind of like the flashy dress thing. I don't know. I was like, that one was a little bit of a stretch, but I wanted to put Hannah Montana on there somewhere because I feel like that is a representation of like somewhat idol culture in the US. It's wild. But yeah, I was like, I was like, I'm blowing my own mind right now because I knew about the connection, but I did not expect to find like such similar images. Like, I just was gonna pull a bunch of pictures out there and I was like, wait a minute, I forgot the Disney Channel had what was basically a sports festival thing. Like slightly different format, but it's the same idea. It's the exact same idea. So yeah, next time people tell me that liking idols is weird, I'm gonna ask them if they ever watched Disney Channel as a kid, because yeah. It's like, look, we were all into like the teen pop stars of that era, I feel like. At least anybody of like my age. For other people it's probably different. But I know the majority of the attendees at this con are probably going to be like between like, I would assume like 21 and 30, so kind of my age range. So I think that I picked the ones that were going to be most relatable to that era. Like Cheetah Girls is technically kind of pushing it for people my age because anybody younger than me, like a little bit, probably doesn't know the Cheetah Girls. But they were important to me. Okay, where am I going? Oh, they're approaching. Here they come. Welcome, Slacknar. We are
Herald ships are attacking the starbase.
Oh, gotta get this one. We're fighting Iconians. And talking about J-pop. Oh my god. The J-pop conversation's kind of like, oh shit! What did I do? I think I was right by that thing when it exploded. That's probably why. Yeah. Gonna get him. Ah! Too close, too close. Oh god. Yeah, I've been doing way too much of a deep dive on my J-pop idol research, and I found connections that I didn't know were there. And in my process, I had to go read about some of the other stuff that like I'm trying to do my research on things that I think people might ask about, just in case too. So like I had to read up on what scandals are going around these days. Most of them I've heard of though, because it's all the same shit. They drag up the same shit every couple of years. And a lot of it's not even true anymore. Like, that's what's so funny, is like... Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I narrowly avoided dying.
We will fight for Kronos. Thanks to your
Okay.
assistance. Kapla.
Yeah, why not? What? Come on. There we go. What are your favorite Voyager episodes? This is gonna be a really unpopular opinion. This is gonna be a lot of really unpopular opinions. My thing too is I'm not good at remembering titles. So I really like some of the cheesy shit that goes on in Voyager, in all honesty. Where should I go harvest materials? I only have to get one. You'll see. Yeah, I can definitely describe them. Hold on, I'm trying to look up, oops. I'm trying to look up, trying to look up what to do for the harvest materials. STO, harvest materials. I'm coming up on Jazi's favorite episode in my rewatch. Oh no. Wait. What do you think is my favorite episode? Seta? No, I want space materials. Why is it only coming up with ground materials? Oh. Japori. I forgot about Japori. Wait, that's a patrol, right? Oh, no. That's not my favorite episode. Stop telling people that! They're gonna believe you! No, I don't like Tuvix. No. I don't like Tuvix. What's funny is Voyager actually was my first favorite series until I rewatched Deep Space Nine as an adult and realized that Deep Space Nine generally is a lot more like in the adult way better. Like the only reason I liked Voyager like when I was younger more than Deep Space Nine was because I connected to the characters more. But Voyager still is like my second favorite just for that reason alone, but Deep Space Nine, again, like I just feel like I had to be an adult to get why it was so good. Somehow, yeah. I know you meant it sarcastically, but people are gonna believe you! People are gonna think it's real! No, Tuvix is like... Okay, I wouldn't say... Tuvix might... Actually, no. I would put Tuvix below Threshold, actually. Because Threshold is, like, so... just wild. I don't know. Where do I find patrols? There's patrols. Japori system. Okay, but like I'm curious why. Why would people unironically like Tuvix? Though I wonder if people put it in there because of the memes. Does Japori not have a patrol? What the hell? I might just have to go to the old-fashioned way, because I know where it is. But, sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once, and my brain doesn't do that well on stream. Where are you, Japori system? There it is. Okay. Some people do it, I think, because it's two characters they hate, refuse to like, disappearing or improving or whatever. Yeah, Tuvix bothers me on so many levels. Just like, I mean, in one way, it's just one of those concepts that's just like, so completely just like out of, I don't know. It's so, it's so wild, and people consider it similar to Measure of a Man from TNG. No, it's not the same thing at all. Measure of a Man is well done because, like, Measure of a Man is grounded. Tuvix to me is not grounded because it's very, very, like, it's the way that it happens is very just like weird. And I'm a little bit of a nerd, so sometimes when the science is too far-fetched, but it's not like for a purpose, like I guess it's kind of for a purpose, but I dislike it. But yeah, the pacing is also a problem in Tuvix. It's been a while since I've seen it. I skip it. It produces, it's so bad. I skip it. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to, yeah, no, go away, go away. And I'm gone. Given the way the TV industry operated in the 20th century, Janeway was basically railroaded into her decision in Tuvix. God. Yeah, it's like... My thing is, like, as much as I dislike Neelix, the Tuvok-Neelix interactions are also really funny. So it's like, you just, no, Tuvix is, like, kind of insufferable. As a member of that crew, like, they act as if people just, like, adjusted to this new person type thing. Like, it's weird. Like, who just, like, gets over that, you know? And, I mean, Janeway, I clearly didn't get over it, but, like, some other people acted as if, like, it was just, I don't know, fine. It was weird. Like, so many problems. But yeah, so that's why I don't like Tuvix. Multiple reasons. And again, like, you're right, comparing it to Measure of a Man at all is absolutely an insult. Like, why would anybody do that? Like, the fuck? God. Okay, let me open my shit. I'm gonna be, oh, I'm maxed out of energy credits. Oh no. I guess I need to pour into some, oh nope, I'm not, these aren't done yet. Damn it. Guess I could pour them into some duty officer assignments. No, these ones don't require energy credits. Where's the trade ones? Do I need to go back to Deep Space Nine to get the trade assignments that I can get rid of energy credits? I think stick out is good. You can remember. Yeah, I'm getting to that. I just am trying to do something. Okay, does the fleet need energy credits? Probably not. Everybody fills that up first. Just to see. Damn it, no, it's all dilithium. Nope. Okay. I didn't think so. I didn't think that was gonna be something to pour them in for me. I'm going back to Deep Space Nine. So favorite Voyager episodes. Not being negative about the ones, because that's the thing too, is that the negatives didn't bother me as much as a child, and they bothered me a lot more as an adult. Like, Tuvix was unsettling as a child. It bothered me deeply as an adult. And I don't know why, but like, I hated it. And Deep Space Nine has a lot less of those moments for me. But, see, my thing is, like, I love 7 of 9 with all my heart. So, like, God. You know, it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that because, even though I have problems with it, Resolutions is actually one of my top episodes. Yeah, that's what I said, is I knew this was gonna be an unpopular opinion. But I think that, I think that, oh, there we go. Let's up the energy credit bets. I can't believe we're here again. How much can I go up to? Oh, I can go up to 1 million. I don't need to go up to 1 million. Like 100,000. That'll be enough to get rid of some energy. This is the worst thing. the worst way to get rid of energy credits. But anyway, no, one of the reasons I liked Resolutions, it's not the reason I liked it was because to me, one of the worst things about Voyager is the fact that they did not let either of them pursue any relationship that made sense. Chakotay, like, oh, I'm gonna up this bet more to 50. Oh, the wrong thing. 50,000. Yeah, why not? But sorry, I'm having a hard time thinking because my brain is in 5 different places. The reason, like, Voyager bothers me because, again, they didn't let Chakotay pursue any relationships that made sense, and I feel like Resolutions kind of established that, like, Janeway and Chakotay together made sense. And it didn't make sense from a standpoint of, like, I know why Janeway didn't go through with it, but I think there's a lot of Voyager that suffered from, cough, Rick Berman, and also just, like, they simultaneously, like, were trying to put Janeway in this ultra, like, feminist leadership position, and at the same time not, like, allowing her to be actually feminine, which I feel like is one of the problems I have mildly with Janeway at times in the writing, is that Janeway has these, like, has some, she has a good, like, balance of qualities, and it's just like, I wish that they would have allowed her to explore more of that, because it's like, I mean, they weren't gonna have her explore it with Q, because that whole thing was, like, weird. Like, he's over here, like, just slides into her bedroom. Like, no, that was not gonna be anything good. 100,000! Look what happens when you dump energy credits into Dabo. Anyway, so, I feel like... Wait, what? I missed so many things. Not bad for Chakotay, but terrible for Janeway and their non-existent relationship. Yeah, it's like... I'm not saying... I don't think that Resolutions was perfect. But as far as, like, episodes that make me, like, feel good, I like to pretend that... I like to sometimes pretend that Resolutions ended differently and they came back to the ship and, like, didn't just pretend none of that happened. But I feel like my issues are not with Resolutions, but actually with how they handled everything post that episode. Like, just personal opinion. But yeah, so my thing is like yeah, so like I said, the way that Janeway, like I said, there are issues with the episode, but I think they can find issues in any episode. My thing is that I just think they're so fucking adorable, and that might be me projecting onto that episode a fucking lot. But I think that, again, I wish it would have gone differently. I do, but I think that it seemed natural of the way that Janeway was really portraying that, like, basically that she wasn't willing to let go of stuff. Maybe I'll see what I can do with my Latinum, because I'm getting too much of it. But yeah, it's like, there's, I don't think I liked it because of the progression necessarily, but I liked it because there was a chemistry there that was established, and again, it makes me mad afterwards that they didn't do anything with that, because they literally come back to the ship, they look at each other, and then also, like, oh my god, the thing that pisses me off the most is that, like, apparently somewhere out there is a deleted scene later in one of the seasons after Resolution happened, where there was a scene where they were talking about their feelings, and I was like, why were they never allowed to have that conversation on screen? Like, why? And also, my dislike for, 7, Chakotay and 7, really drives my, Chakotay and Janeway shipping. Like, it just really, really drives it. But, there was brief moments of chemistry, but I almost consider those just a tease of what we already wanted and never get. Yeah, and I agree with that, but that's what I'm saying is I was like, I don't think my issues lie with the episode. I think my issues lie with how they handled that afterward. At least it's specifically the relationship dynamic. I was not a fan of Tuvok in that episode, but he was being very Tuvok, and sometimes that's not always a good thing. Oh, I want one of these. I think I have one of these though. Character bind though. I swear I had one. Do I not have one? I don't think I have one. Wait, let me check my bank. I need a subspace party amplifier. Yeah, so, other episodes, because I can talk all day about Janeway and Chakotay shipping. Like, if y'all want to know what... There it is! I knew I had one. I'm gonna put it in here. Because why not? I have tribbles and I don't know what to do with them. I don't like there to be gaps in my bank. Okay. That works. That works. Okay. Going back to look at the gold, what else I can get with gold pressed latinum that's useless, probably. As far as other episodes, I think one of the episodes that had the biggest impact on me, both when I was younger and also especially when I was older, was Extreme Risk. I do remember that title because again, it's one of the ones that I was just like, oh wait, we have a nullifier. I can get a nullifier. God, I could have so much chaotic fun. Oh, that reminds me. I can get clubware on other things. Do I have the shuffle dance already? No, I don't. Why would I not get that? Hell yeah, let's go. Ah! Yeah, they seem to bring out Janeway's femininity as more of the ship's resident space mom than in a romantic sense. I'm not talking, okay, when I talk about Janeway's femininity, I don't not just talking about the romantic sense. I'm talking about in general, because the thing is, from my perspective, this is my personal opinion. If somebody doesn't agree with this, I'm not trying to discount anybody's idea of what is feminine, because ultimately femininity is a social construct. So again, but this is like what femininity like means to me is like, I think that there's so much to like being feminine and enjoying like traditionally feminine things that is not just being like motherly and nurturing. So to me it's like, you know, if you're, I think when they did allow Janeway to express that femininity, it was like better moments, but it's like they didn't, it's like it's very clear that like I think like Janeway is kind of, and this is like headcanon, I know, but I feel like Janeway is kind of a person who she doesn't want to rely on people, but I think that she's not somebody who like, she's very capable as an individual, but I think that she's stronger with like a group or with like support essentially, which most people are. And that's the thing that actually a lot of, I think, starship captains throughout different series actually have in common, is that they are kind of like individualist, and they have to kind of, some of them have to like learn to lean on their team. And I think Janeway is especially on that. And it's like, but it's like, because of that, it's like, you know, she was gonna get married, she was gonna have all this stuff. It's like, we know that she has to be like kind of lonely and like missing that. So it's like, the fact that, like, it's right there in front of her, and again, I understand why she didn't go for it, but I think that it would have made logical sense that towards the end of the series, when it seems like they're gonna be going home eventually, and Chakotay might not be her subordinate forever, like, that, you know, they could finally kind of do something. I don't know. Because it's also, like, the thing, too, is, like, Chakotay... And again, this is on the writing, but Chakotay just kind of keeps, like, going after all these different relationships that make absolutely zero sense. And it also bothers me because it's like, Janeway had the least amount of, like, actual romance of most any of the captains. And I think it's because, like, and again, because you walk a fine line of, like, you know, you don't want to, like, over-sexualize your only female captain at the time, but also it's like you don't want to like again, it's just this thing of like, it's okay to have characters with, you know, different things about them. Like, that's what makes rich characters. And I think Janeway is a very good character, but sometimes the writing just doesn't let her explore every aspect of herself, because she's the main character that most of the time the captain is the main character, and it's like I still feel like there's so much that we didn't get to explore about her because they didn't allow her to. But yeah, it's like I think that bottom line, there's more to femininity just than being like motherly, and I think that Janeway has like qualities that are different than that, and they just didn't really allow her to bring them out. But you know, Okay, Extreme Risks. I know the episode and plot, but don't remember the details super well. I remember wanting to like that episode because I like B'Elanna. There's something about her character in the episode that really didn't seem like the character I respected. And see, that's the thing, is that's actually why I like that episode. For me, it's like, it shows a different aspect of that character that we didn't really like, see, you know? And so it's because the whole thing of that is she's been piling up this extreme severe like depression, and among other things, like B'Elanna has so many issues, and she's been holding that inside and bottling it up, and she's not telling anybody about that. And I think that that episode will resonate more with people who have dealt with things like that. But yeah, it's like, again, I think that's why I liked that episode, because it's like, it's again one of those things of like, it's like, you know, when we have these strong independent characters, it's like I want to know more. I want to know more about them. I want to know what's like inside. Again, we spent 7 years with these characters. So it's like, again, I love all the women of Voyager. Like that is why I love Voyager, is because of the women. There's things about it that's just like, God, I wish that they weren't treated so differently from the men. It's way more prominent in like TNG, but I feel like also with Voyager, it's still kind of a problem a little bit. But Seven, for all the shit that she gets for her outfit, like, she's incredibly well written. Did this, that. At least let them live happily ever after instead of having Chakotay run off with Seven out of the blue. Yeah, and that is, I don't remember what episode that is, but the episode where Seven's on the holodeck, like, getting whatever with Chakotay, that episode is uncomfortable in so many ways, on so many levels, because not only is it just weird, like, they have no chemistry, but it's just so, like, out of the blue. Here's the thing, I don't really ship Seven and the Doctor, like, super romantically, but I think that I ship them, like, kind of romantically, but more platonically. And it's like, it would have been nice if we could have explored different kinds of relationships with through that aspect, because I think that as far as chemistry, Seven and the Doctor had that. And it's like, and I know, like, she rejected him, but it's also like, again, that's because we're kind of looking at this very narrow viewpoint that people have of relationships, and like that's going to progress to a certain thing, but it's like, you know, it's not like both. I could easily read both of those characters potentially as being like somewhere on the asexual spectrum. So it's not like we're saying like, oh, if they get together, they have to, you know, do stuff together. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. She brought the oh wait, sorry, I'm having a hard time reading. The point was the writer seemed to be drawn more to her motherly side, especially with Seven and Harry. And yeah, and that's the thing, is I like when we get that. Oh, I like when we get that, but it's like, again, that, like, you know, she's like knitting and doing all this like fun stuff on the side. Like, I don't know. Sorry, my brain works in a very cursed way, so when I start going on a tangent, and everybody's bringing up different points in the chat, so I'm like on 3 different tangents right now. Oh, something's finished. Oh, that is. Okay. If Janeway got with more men, I'm not saying Janeway should get with more men. I'm just saying that if you look at what the starship captains of that, like, that era, that all the men have been doing throughout their arcs, is that basically it's like Janeway is not getting as much, like, to express that side of herself. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily always like the romantic side, but I think that when you have 2 characters that have that kind of chemistry, it is a little bit weird for them not to get together at some point. Just, again, this is a personal take. No, Picard has a lot of, like, prospects, and you're not just thinking of the ones that are getting, like Kirk. Not everybody's Kirk, but Picard has multiple episodes where there is, like, a prospect. Even if he is not taking it, there's more like for him. And sometimes it actually makes me uncomfortable with Picard as well, because he's not that kind of character. And they keep, like, I don't like talking about this episode, but the perfect mate, that was a time, and they kept, like, trying to do this thing, and, like, I don't know. I don't like that episode at all. Cisco is, yeah, and that's the thing too, is, okay, but here's what pisses me off about Cisco. They got him all this nice little life wrapped up in this little package, and then bam, to the prophets. But the thing is, like, Cisco again, Cisco had like an arc with his relationships though. And I guess maybe like what I'm trying to say, rather than like just getting like more opportunities, but like again, like an arc with their relationships. Because this is the one thing where like Kirk has a lot of like random like flings, so to speak, because no, Seda, you're not the only one who wants Janeway 7. I also like Janeway 7. But you get like this, you get an arc of the characters, and Kirk is the outlier where he gets a lot of flings, but that's because original series is so episodic that the characters barely have like any growth by the end of the series. It's very much like they kind of, I would honestly say the only characters that get real development in the original series are Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, and even then it's very little, because you can kind of see the Spock and McCoy dynamic change a little bit, but you really didn't get to see them like change until the movies, which is why I like some of the movies a lot in the original series. But with Cisco, you have him go through this process of like he's you know, mourning, he has a son to take care of, he's got this stuff going on. And so throughout that, it's like, you know, you have some of the stuff where it's like Dax is trying to set him up, Jake's trying to set him up, and you have that like really good thing going that kind of builds up with like oh my god, why is my brain doing this? With Cassidy Yates, and you have this growth happening there. Janeway didn't get anything like that. Picard even got that. Even though his was more like he's just gonna not, but he had like a thing with Crusher though. Oh my god. Okay, actually we can't talk about Picard. We can't talk about Jean-Luc Picard because then I'm going to spoil Star Trek Picard on accident. So let's just like put a pin in that. Whew, not gonna spoil it for anyone. Janeway, yes. But, and again, and I'm not saying that Janeway necessarily needed to get married at the end, but I just know from what we've seen of her character, it was weird that they never addressed that again. They just left it alone entirely. And one of my other favorite episodes is Counterpoint, because that was an example of something that was just done very, very well. And I wish that Janeway would have gotten to play with that aspect a little bit more, because she's kind of like, she's showing not only a level of like emotional intelligence, but also like, you know, general intelligence in the way that she played that. Counterpoint's so good. But yeah. Janeway was, engaged in the beginning, but what are we talking about? McCoy gets like 0, but some brag him up somehow. I'm a personal McCoy thirster. I think that headcanon that honestly McCoy is probably like McCoy, if he wanted to be, could be just as bad as Kirk. McCoy just has a little bit more respect for people. Not that Kirk doesn't have respect for people, but you know, Kirk is just like the way he is, and he's a little bit like reckless and all that. Okay, what am I gonna do? Maybe I should go to the battle zone. I don't wanna, but it bugs me seeing the one endeavor not be done. We got on a long tangent. McCoy had something with Dax. Yeah, see, we know from like other again, it kind of depends on like how loosely you define canon as well, because if you go into like the side content like novels and stuff, there's a lot of things going on, and it's kind of like McCoy's funny too, because like he's just like such an asshole at his core. No, I'm gonna go this way so I can continue my conversation. But he's such an asshole, but like he's like a lovable asshole, you know? Like he's just so funny, because he's not like a deeply rooted, like, mean asshole. He's just kind of an asshole. I mean, if you look at, like, every time he interacts with Spock, he's such a bully. But, you know, at the same time, Spock, sometimes he'll give it back, and those moments are very satisfying to me. Janeway was, yeah, and the thing too is Janeway was a private woman. However, again, that's like what she's presenting to her crew. When we come into a TV show and we are seeing these characters like private lives, essentially, like that's the audience gets let in where the rest of the characters don't, you know? And that was just what I was saying, is again, like we can tell that she's like, I don't know, it just was very weird to, because I feel like for all the times you basically got like, sometimes you got like Janeway's space mom, and then sometimes you got her kind of like just the complete opposite. And it was like, I love Janeway, don't get me wrong, but there's things that I wish that like we kind of got to explore more with her, because we got to explore them with almost all the other captains. She didn't have, and I feel like she never really resolved like any of her feelings about like her fiance Mark either, from like the beginning. Like there's that one scene with the letter, and then it was just like never mentioned again, and I'm like, but and some of that is because they didn't have a ship's counselor, because a lot of the time when we got to know characters like on TNG, for example, it's because they're talking to Deanna, the ship's counselor. But I feel like there was kind of like different ways to show that. Again, it's just a personal opinion, like nobody take it personally. But yeah, I think about the Dax McCoy thing a lot, and now we're back on my different tangent. But McCoy is a know-it-all that is always there for the annoying comment. Yeah, he's so funny. I love McCoy a lot. He's my favorite original series character for sure. In pretty much every iteration of the original series cast, McCoy has always been my favorite. Okay, so what we doing? We're just destroying some cruisers, battleships, or dreadnoughts, so I can just go anywhere, it seems like. I hate this place, but again, I don't want to sit there with the one endeavor not complete that is probably going to be pretty easy. I'm not big on TOS, but Spock would be my favorite from that show. Spock is also another favorite. I'm like not a Kirk fan, personally. Like, I like most of the characters, you know? Oh, welcome in. Welcome to the Star Trek tangents. To what Seta was saying too, I feel like, because I feel like I can see Janeway's 7 as like a ship, because listen, I ship a lot of things that I would not ever technically want to be canon, because like that's the fun of shipping. So I ship a lot of things, honestly. But as far as ships that I wish were canon, my main ship is Janeway and Chakotay. For the reasons that I have stated before. So, oh god. Ah! Damn it. You mentioned Mark's letter. That reminds me of my other pet peeve about Voyager, that even after making contact with the Federation, there was barely any mention that there was a war going on. Yeah, okay, there are a few things like that you're bringing up that do remind me of some of my Voyager pet peeves. That is one of them, because it's like, God, it's just like, why would you not mention like the biggest thing, like, they're giving him all this other information, right? Like, I don't know. That didn't make any sense to me either. Like, because they had to mention the, they had to mention, like, some of the stuff that happened with, like, the Maquis when they all got, destroyed. So it's like, somebody had to have known, but nobody talked about that. And I think from a writing standpoint, it might have been because, like, they didn't really want to dwell on it because they were already dealing with, like, the war storyline in Deep Space Nine, so they didn't really need to deal with it in Voyager. But I feel like a mention would have made sense, you know? You may get your wish with Chakotay and Janeway. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna... I don't know what direction they're gonna go with Prodigy. I like Prodigy a lot. Like, a lot. But that's because I'm biased and I really like Janeway, so... And I think it'd be interesting if they did do something like that, but I don't know if they will, just because now that they've established that in canon, like, Chakotay did end up with Seven, even though we know that at some point they broke up, because, you know, Seven has not even mentioned Chakotay at all. So I'm almost wondering if, like, they're trying to, like, slightly, not really retcon it, but slightly retcon, oh god, I'm gonna die trying to kill these things. I'm almost wondering if they're trying to slightly retcon what happened with Chakotay and Seven. Because they kind of implied that, like, they were gonna move forward this relationship, but it was kind of, seemed to be more of like a fling kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh god, oh god. Why did that? There we go. Okay. I'm alive again. I've only gotten 3. I hate soloing Battlezone. It's so stressful. Prodigy is great. The animation is beautiful. Writing is fantastic. Yeah, no, I will defend Prodigy to my core because it's so good. And I know so many people who don't like it. But then again, if anybody, like, asked me to defend pretty much any Star Trek series, I could do it. Anything that anybody doesn't like, I'll be like, all right, but consider. But Prodigy is just, it's really good. And it's especially, like, they have just nailed the tone so perfectly. They've made it, you know, it's good for younger audiences, but it's also good for adults. Like, again, the tone is just on point in a way that I don't think I've ever seen from, like, any animated show. But yeah, I think that we're definitely gonna get something when it comes to Janeway and Chakotay. Like, I'm sure that they're gonna reunite, but I honestly don't know at this point if I would necessarily want to see them, like, together, because it's just like, we know that a lot of time has passed and stuff, and, you know, there might be other things that either of them are pursuing. We also don't know what happened in all these years too. Maybe they did try it again and it didn't work out. Like, I don't know. I could see a lot of things potentially happening with Janeway and Chakotay. I wish that they would, and I'm not saying Prodigy is not necessarily the show to explore them. I just, like, wish that they were explored at the time. That, like, because, again, where the kind of, like, template for Star Trek has changed a little bit now, and so the expectations are different for writing, because TV is different, and it makes sense. But I feel like that it would be weird to kind of try to shove it in now and, like, try to make up for years and years of like unresolved feelings. Though I don't know, they're kind of about to do that in Picard, so maybe that's why I might be a little bit biased, is because now I think they're going that direction in Picard with some people, and I feel like that's gonna kind of not be something we need in every show. Even though, God, I really love slow burn romances too. And maybe that's why I'm so mad about 7 and Chakotay, because that would have been like the world's most perfect like slow burn relationship. Like, not world's most perfect. I'm exaggerating there, but it would have been pretty fucking good. If they would have, you know, actually had a conversation about their feelings. Okay. Ah! And I'm also just kind of glad... Wait, since apparently we're getting to Voyager A, I'm guessing there will at least be a partial Voyager cast reunion in season 2. Oh god, I hope so. Also, welcome in new people. Yeah, I think we're gonna get some really cool stuff in Prodigy season 2. I'm really excited. I get so excited for like all new Trek though. Like, I was like about to start crying when I watched the Picard premiere, and I'm not really like a crying person, and I was just like, the tears are coming. Oh, thank you for following. Welcome to the club. Prodigy's set just a few years after Voyager ended, so it would be nearly as long as a gap with Bev and Picard. Yeah, but still, like, Chakotay's been trapped in a fucking, whatever it is. I kind of forgot the details of Prodigy. I was hyper-focused on the wrong things in that show. Mostly, like, my brain just being like, Janeway in animated form, but I was doing the same thing during Star Trek Online, so... Did you see the newest Picard episode? Yes, and that is why there is a trying not to spoiler Picard. I walked right into that. That was my own fault. Ah! Sorry, my brain, like... Yeah, I saw the latest episode. We're not talking about it because I'm trying not to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet. Because I keep saying things about Next Generation. It's reminding me about Picard, so we're trying to talk about Voyager and Prodigy a little bit. But yeah, if I do accidentally spoil something, I'm sorry to everyone. This season is just too good, and oh my god, the last episode. But anyway, he's only been gone for 72 days from his perspective. Oh yeah, that's right. I was thinking for some reason it was the other way, or the other way around, that he'd been gone for longer because he's trapped in the past. I think. I don't know. Again, this is the shit that apparently I did not maintain. The fucking body swap. My god, like that was so fun and ridiculous, and like. It was such a Star Trek thing. Fuck. I am gonna die. I have no shields. I'm halfway there with my battleships, though. Ah! I'm coming back to chat in a second. Trying to stay alive. Herc summon. Oh my god. Okay. Dude, just started STO. When Janeway showed up, I leapt out of my chair. I knew it was coming, and that was still, like, about my same reaction. 52 years in the future. Okay, that's what I got wrong. It's fine. Y'all can roast me for not paying attention to the details in Prodigy. To be fair, like, almost every other series I've rewatched multiple times. I have not done a Prodigy rewatch. Part of that is just because I did a Picard rewatch, and I did a Strange New Worlds rewatch, and I've done 3 Lower Decks rewatches, so... Since he's gone however long ago, was sent until someone rescues him, if they ever do. Yeah, that's my thing, is it's like, there's, even if it's just like been a few years, like there's been a lot of shit that's happened since they've gotten home, and that's what I'm saying, is it's like, obviously it's not going to be the same gravity as Picard and Crusher, but that also has a lot of other factors that I'm not going to say that also complicate that thing, that I'm actually really glad that they didn't pull something like that with Janeway, because I feel like it's a little weird that they're pulling it with Picard. But you know what? I'm not gonna say details, but yeah, I'm glad, like, they haven't. There needs to be like somebody in Star Trek that doesn't have like major parent issues. I guess Janeway doesn't really have like major parent issues. Oh, thank you for following. Welcome to the club. Do you know the Voyager episode with the Dauntless ship? If so, that's in the ship with an actual. So is that ship an actual Fed ship, or was it designed by an alien? How did Janeway date Dauntless and? Yeah. I don't remember that episode. Is that the one? Is that the one where that was the trick ship? Because I think that was confirmed that it did not exist. Right? If I'm thinking the right episode? The episode doesn't load for me. Oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know. Does anybody else remember specifically? Because I don't remember the details of that episode. I'll be honest, some of Voyager is a blur, but also, y'all gotta remember, I have ADHD, and one of the big ways that mine specifically presents is in absolutely horrible working memory. Like, I remember things, like, my short-term memory is, like, just ass, and so, sometimes I remember shit, like, wrong, and then I realized later, I was like, wait, no, I remember the real thing, but like an hour after I needed to recall that information. You reverse engineered the Dauntless and Prodigy from the fake Dauntless and Hope and Fear. I mean, well, there was info in that ship. I'm gonna look this up after I beat some baddies, because I need to refresh my memory on what that looked like. Because I remember the episode is coming back to me. I remember they were tricked. I remember that, but God, I love Voyager. It's so ridiculous. Oh, you know another. Whoa, God, what was that two-parter where they went back to the 90s? That was a good two-parter. Like, Future's End, that's the name of it. I could not remember it. For some reason, I knew it wasn't past tense. The name has similar vibes. Past tense is in Deep Space Nine, so... Borgified. Can't wait to see the new Voyager ship. God, Prodigy. I miss Prodigy already. Mission Launch podcast is due to cover that one in a few weeks. Yeah, I'm not really a big podcast listener, but seems maybe I should be. There's a lot of good Trek podcasts out there. I've actually been like invited to a few, but I've never ended up it's never ended up working out. But like I feel like I'm a live stream person. I'm not really a podcast person as much. My brain works too many. My brain is in too many places. But I feel like also my brain works better when it's in more places sometimes. Okay. Like I always think of like the most wild shit on stream. Or like I have like these random like epiphanies about oh god. Am I the only one who squealed when they say the Enterprise F? Yeah, that's the thing is I was like, look, I'll admit that I'm basic, but I love when we see a new generation of the Enterprise. Always. Like, I'm a sucker for that. I know that the Enterprise is like everywhere, but I feel like, people who are like, oh, we want to hear about a different ship, and I was like, well, we hear about different ships. Like, we do hear about them, but it's like, you gotta have that, like, staple in the classic, you know? I don't know, I see so much Star Trek fandom bullshit because I go on the forbidden social media platform, aka Facebook, and I know that it's, like, cursed, but I like going on there and seeing bullshit sometimes, so it's like, how am I supposed to know what arguments I'm gonna have to have online if I don't go and find the bad opinions too? Like what was oh yeah, so what's funny too is like the times where there's like a Janeway debate, oh my god. They're the worst, but like there's ah! Oh my god, what did I do? The thing is, we are near the 26th century in Star Trek timeline now, but we are only just getting the F. Only like 150 years till Enterprise J. Well, a lot of things got blown up. Well, actually, no, we're not quite to the 26th century yet. We're barely at the 25th century in Picard. I can't remember if we're in 2401 or 2402 in Picard. Come on.
Captain overwhelming our forces. Must hold the line.
Okay. Alright, come here, everybody. Late 24th to early 25th century. Yeah, I think they did say a specific year though. I just can't remember what it is, if it's 2401 or 2402, which would be the very beginning of the 25th century. So if they're at the Enterprise F then, that leaves like 150 years for like 3 ships to get blown up at some point. Yeah. So only 4 ships if you count the F, but only those 4 ships gotta get blown up. I feel like that's pretty doable considering all the chaos that happens in Star Trek Online. Because we're almost to that, and I consider most of Star Trek Online my personal canon. Even if it's not officially canon, I don't care. Oh, thank you for following. Welcome to the club. Yeah, we're almost to Star Trek Online. I wonder if they're gonna where we're getting Star Trek Online ships in Picard, I wonder if they're gonna like say if any part of STO might be canon. They should make like some of the recent arcs canon. Like Terran Gambit should be canon. Technically we have the J and STO. Yeah, from time travel. But that's how we know that there's a timeline for the J. But again, it's not technically canon. So Discovery Season 3, they mentioned Iconians. Well, I mean, Iconians have existed in the Iconians have existed, like, in Star Trek canon since Next Generation. We just have never seen them, technically. But we've seen their technology. Oh, I just need one more. Maybe have Quinn as a captain? Wait, when did we see the Enterprise J in canon? Was that in Enterprise, or am I thinking something just crazy wrong again? Again, my timeline... My timelines get real messed up. That's why I was like, Chakotay in the past? No, it's the future. God. It was Enterprise. Okay. Okay, I had to remember. I don't remember how much they specified in Enterprise versus what they made up for STO. Like, because they expanded on it a lot in Star Trek Online, and it's actually one of my favorite little fun arcs where we get, like, the return of some fun enemies. Ah, so close! Too close to it. There we go. Yay! I'm done! I'm leaving. I'm so out of here. After this wave is done, because... kind of caught in the middle right now, but... No, the thing is, Enterprise doesn't get enough credit for what it did give us that was good. Even though I dislike many parts of Enterprise. And I also think it has one of the most incredibly problematic episodes in any Trek series past original series. Because I don't count the original series, because it was the 60s and things were wild back then. But anything after that, I think Enterprise had one of the most offensive episodes in, like, the more recent times. Ah. Alright, I'm out of here. Really? And after all that, still didn't capture it? That's wild. This is why I hate this place. Bye! Imagine if Picard season 3 ends with the start of the Iconian War. Huh, I'd have to think of my timeline with that. I don't know if we're gonna... See, I don't know yet if we're gonna get Iconian connections in Picard or not. Then again, I didn't think we were gonna get a lot of things in Picard that we seem to have gotten. Oh my god. But... I don't want to spoil anything. This is why the challenge was trying not to spoil it. This is why I was talking about J-pop. This is why I was talking about J-pop, y'all. So I didn't spoil Picard. I doubt it, but one could dream. Yeah, I mean, it's good to dream. That's what I'm saying about, like, all this Voyager stuff, too, is it's like, I like to dream that, like, Rick Berman was not part of Star Trek. This is not a... This is a, Berman-free zone. We are anti-Rick Berman here. Remember in today's episode where Picard was listening to God, can you imagine if that was, like, real? That would be so iconic. Oh, J-pop. So look, if I was in charge of Star Trek, I would commission a J-pop group to make, like, a song for it. And so instead of playing this, like, these random ass songs in there would just be J-pop. And we have like a we have like an idol group and there's a Vulcan in it. I actually had a concept for like a joke sort of like parody media project where it was gonna be like a Starfleet Academy idol group. But it was gonna be like the storyline was gonna be that somebody found it, somebody found out about idols from a old database, and then this half human, half Vulcan who is raised by their human side goes and like ropes all these people into a group, and there's gonna be like a changeling that really enjoyed sitting in the form of like a 7-Eleven Slurpee, which was also found in this old database. So it was gonna be like this this thing where it's just like everybody is like obsessed with like early 21st century bullshit. And it was gonna be really funny, but I was like, I don't have the time to dedicate to this just for something that's funny, you know? I would love them to canonize STO into Picard and him meet a Starfleet admiral that is implied that it's our character when he lists everything the admiral has done. God, that would be amazing. I kind of doubt that they'll be that on the nose with it. If they canonize, because here's the thing, I don't think they can canonize, they can't canonize, like, the whole thing, because things in Star Trek Online were contradicted by Star Trek that happened later. So, they can't canonize everything, but Terran Gambit, for example, could be canon. We kind of have a Bajoran idol be. Okay, when this project was in slight development, the server and stuff doesn't even exist anymore, but when this project was in development, I actually didn't know you, so otherwise I would have been like, you want in, cause, like, yeah. But yeah, we were gonna, like, you're gonna just, like, cover the most, like, random shit, like, there's... I might actually cover one of the songs later this year for a space-themed set that I want to do. Kind of thinking of bringing out the old pink space helmet that I made for my Among Us cosplay, and perhaps performing in it, or at least having like a segment where I have the helmet on. But I don't know, that might be a lot to lug around to venues and stuff, but it sure would be fun. We'll see. We'll see. There's so many things like I want to do this year and my body just says no, so it's a little unfortunate. What now, though? What else can I talk about? I got on my Janeway thoughts, and now I'm like... Janeway. K-pop. My god. You don't want to get me on my whole K-pop tangent, because, there's so much... I roast K-pop regularly, and I don't really roast... Okay, I don't always roast K-pop regularly, but I definitely roast, most of, like, the big producers. I have, like, personal beef with, like, most of the major producers for things that they have just allowed to happen in their groups. And... yeah, people don't like to talk to me about K-pop, and I was like, you know what, that's fine, because we're gonna disagree, and some people don't handle that very well. It's kind of like, again, I know that some company is buying SM. Yeah, I haven't looked into like any of the current details, but again, they're all equally on my shit list. All of them. Maybe like sometimes like a little bit more personally towards like JYP, just because like he gives me very sus vibes, and I very much dislike him, but I know he's not the worst one, but I do dislike him a lot just because of the vibes. But I think that also might be because like the only group that I really majorly follow K-pop wise is Twice, and so like it feels personal. I love Twice, but JYP is a creep. They're all creeps. That's what I'm saying, is I don't think there's a single one of them that you can say has never done anything creepy, which is a problem. It's a problem that the whole industry is dominated by, like, what, 5 companies or something. And if they're not, like, dominated by those 5 companies, usually the smaller companies are with, like, connected in some way to these bigger companies. It's cursed. But yeah, I love Twice. Twice is actually like the only K-pop group that I can watch regularly without like feeling uncomfortable. A lot of the other ones I'm just like, I can't watch them for too long because then I start thinking about it and then it's like weird. But Twice they've all like grown so much because I've been following them since the beginning. Who's your favorite Twice? Nayeon is my bias, and Jonghyun is my bias wrecker. Yeah. Jonghyun is like so good. My love and my inspiration. And part of the reason she's my bias wrecker too is because I have to defend her to all the weird ass people who are fat phobic. Yeah. I get fired up about that because like the number of times, okay, like we're gonna talk about Twice. Okay, we can talk about Twice. I don't want to talk about the K-pop industry, but I can talk about Twice. So, thank you for coming, Pax. Thank you for joining the discussion and contributing. Sorry if my opinions, like, were weird. Made me so mad when people fat shame her. People are still doing it. I still see people in, like, comments on, like, fan cams and stuff because my Instagram is, like, my Instagram reels are like 50% Twice fan cams. Because I basically have this thing where every time I see a New Jeans fan cam or anything related to New Jeans, I never want to see it again. So I go and I consume only Twice reels for like I go through like 50 or 60 reels just of Twice. And then now it's like my reels are like 50% Twice fan cams only, which is fine, because then I'm not seeing New Jeans, but I have to do it again every so often when I see more New Jeans content. Yeah, I don't support New Jeans in any way, shape, or form, but everybody's just like eating them up right now. I'm like, how could you do this? Like, what is wrong with all of you? Anyway, but But yeah, I still see people in the comments like asking like, oh, when she's gonna lose the weight, and I'm like, why would you ask that? Like, what matters is that she's healthy enough to dance and perform now. What the fuck? Have you seen any of the Le Seraphim videos? Did you show me one of those? And I probably watched it. I don't remember. Again, I mostly just am here for Twice, and all other groups are like next to that. But I think that the reason why I like Twice a lot is like because I think because they've been so successful, the like the company's lightened up on them like a little bit, and so they're kind of allowed to be more like individual now, like, and going along with that, like they look more individual and unique. Yeah, like some of the stuff that was happening early on in Twice was very sus. For example, like the infamous Momo Ice Cube diet, because they told her to lose a large amount of weight in a short time. That was not good. So yeah, it's like, and then there's people who say like that's not a problem. I'm like, I don't know how you could sit there and say that's not a problem. Like, I love the little song. We're just gonna stand here and watch the little video when it pops up. But no, and that's the thing, is it's like, really, like, nobody in K-pop is ugly. And that's just what gets me when people, like, complain about something. They complain about, like, an idol's appearance or weight or whatever. It's like, literally, none of them are ugly. What is wrong with you? Like, God. I never knew about the Ice Cube thing. Yeah, it's not common knowledge, but I've seen people bring it up and not, like, I'm like over here, like, if you find out about it, I feel like most normal people would say that's a bad thing, but some people don't think it's a bad thing, which is weird. But yeah, there's been a couple things that happened, and there was stuff that happened on that I discovered Twice during Yes or Yes. Oh, I have been with Twice since debut. I never watched 16. I don't like survival shows for a variety of reasons. I kind of refuse to watch them, even though I've watched clips of some of them, but I refuse to follow them like along the whole ride through. I'm just like, I'll wait till it's done, and then I'll see what people post as the highlights, and that's all I need to see of those shows. I think they get really toxic really fast. But like some of the clips from that show are really iconic, like Diane's dance, like, oh, it's so good. But yeah, I still remember the dances to like Ooh-Wah, Cheer Up, TT, like all those. I still like know all the dances. I actually know a good chunk of like most of the Twice dances. And I think up until like, wait, there was What Is Love. I learned What Is Love. But what was the one where I stopped? I don't remember. It might have been like, I don't know if I'm getting my timeline messed up again, but I feel like I want to say it was around like Fancy or Feel Special or something like that I stopped keeping up a little bit. Yeah, because there was a while where I kind of stopped like following them as close. I don't know. What's your favorite dance? Oh, I don't know if I can pick a favorite. And I'm just like hanging out waiting for my thing to reset. What am I gonna do for 20 minutes? Talk to y'all, I guess. Hi everybody, where's my whore gone? But what was I saying? Oh, I can't do it while I have the Horgon up. The Horgon is more important. I don't know. Come on, this is why... This is... Okay, so this is a good time, I guess, to promote it. I'm looking for mods for both my Discord and Twitch, and the application is in my Discord. If people need to join my Discord before applying, just for vetting purposes, because my biggest fear with opening public mod applications has been that I'm gonna get weirdos. So yeah, but hopefully, like, if I have more mods, then more often someone will be online to do like shout outs and dealing with auto mod when it goes a little too far, stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, I have those open. I just there's no like requirement of how like often you need to be online, because again, I'm trying to accept like as many as possible, because it's like it's a volunteer thing, so nobody has to be like online all the time. And banning my thirsty redeems? No one's gonna ban your thirsty redeems. That's on me if I want to say them or not. But yeah, basically I just have needed more mods for a while, and because for a while they've only been like people that I know like in real life and stuff, and again, people are busy, and so there's not really like a lot going on, but my applications are open and they are in the Discord. But yeah, and a lot of the questions are just to weed out, there is some bait on there specifically to weed out people that would not be a good fit for this community. So don't worry about those if you're like a polite, nice person who enjoys Star Trek and stuff. So yeah. Is he dead? No, I'm just gonna start copying this person. And then do my favorite activity. He left. God, remember when it was the Ryza event? Now that was a good time. In between events where we just like yes. See, look what I've started. Look what I have started. God, Ryza was so funny. I'm sad we didn't get more like meme moments in Winter Wonderland. I feel like that could have been a good place for him, but I feel like nobody was ever online when I was doing Winter Wonderland. But like, God, Ryza was hilarious. Same. I've started the spinning cult. We just have a Horgon right in front of the fucking Bajoran temple. You know what the funniest thing about the Deep Space Nine design is? Why is the bar across from the Bajoran temple? Like, what? Spinning Jazi cult. God, this cult talk just reminds me how long it's been since Jolly Devil has appeared on this channel. I stopped summoning Jolly Devil on this channel because people were kind of harassing him. And that was weird because it's like, why are you harassing a literal drawing? But, you know, like, there is a person behind that drawing, I'm just saying. Easy access to wipe. Do Bajorans have that? I don't know if they have that. I mean, we know that Bajorans drink wine, and also, like, they don't have... Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, just leaves after the friend request. Anyway, I'm just gonna stand here with my Horgon. But yeah, one of the interesting things that's about the Bajoran religion is like, we never see them really like, being like super, like as a whole, we don't see the religion being like super toxic, which I think is like really good for a like, you know, space religion, is that like you take a lot of the good parts of religion and you don't have to have like everything bad. But then you also have Kai Wynn, but I kind of think of that as like its own like section of the religion, because like the whole entire planet cannot follow the same religion. So honestly, like in my opinion, I feel like Kai Wynn actually represents like probably a different religion than Kira, or like a different, at the very least a different branch, but it could be like an entirely different religion. Just all the religions follow like the prophets, but everybody has their own interpretation of the prophets. Like, denomination is the word I was looking for, not branch, but denomination is also kind of like a branch. But I would even say like, again, it's like because technically like there's three major religions that have all their own denominations that believe in like God as a concept, like a singular God. So like the prophets could kind of be like that, and there's probably a lot of nuances that just obviously they weren't going to get to in the show because that's way too detailed and much for a TV show. But like it would kind of be cool if like they did, I don't know. But yeah, Bajorans are so fun. Again, like the way that they fleshed out Bajorans in Deep Space Nine, I think is part of the reason I liked Deep Space Nine so much. Because like, there's so many species we don't get to learn enough about. So it's nice when we get like stuff. But that's me being a nerd. There's a group that worshipped the Poth race, yeah, but they were like kind of a cult, like. They kind of became real culty real fast, you know? Which technically not all of them could have, but... You know, the whole Ducat business. Disgusting. God, that was bad. I also loved the set reuse when they... I also loved the set reuse when they, like, went to Empok Nor, but it's the exact same looking station. Oh, it's so good. We love a thrifty, writer's room. Old people love it. No, okay. I remembered the rest of the Ducat storyline, and now I'm grossed out because I like to pretend that doesn't happen. I always wonder how differently Voyager would have went if instead of an Intrepid being stuck, it was a full-blown Federation battleship. God, people would have thought that they were coming to kill them, because people already thought that the Voyager had, like, you know, maybe bad intentions. So like, there's a lot of things that could have unfortunately happened that went very badly for them. I love watching these NPCs just walk through the door. Just through the door. The door doesn't open. lot of the races were outgunned by Voyager, as it was, so anything more they want. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's like there's so much, well, even like in... Fuck, what was that episode? Was it Living Witness, or am I thinking a different one? Whatever one where they misinterpreted Voyager's history type thing. And there was like the Doctor's backup module and stuff like that. It was like 700 years in the future. Yeah, okay. Cause they even like misinterpreted Voyager as a warship. But yeah, I don't know. It's like there's so many fun things to like theorize about with Voyager. Because again, like again, it's like there's just like, I don't know. Anything negative about Voyager, I mostly blame Rick Berman, but also society, because, you know, that was from lies made during their Civil War. Yeah, but like they had like the framework that they could have like reworked Voyager into like a battleship, but obviously like Voyager was not a battleship, so they like, yeah, they were they couldn't make, that wasn't like the truth obviously, but it's like they were able to like find just enough evidence to kind of manufacture those lies. Backup Doctor needs to appear in Discovery. How would that work? Discovery's like way in the past. Oh wait, no, Discovery is in the future now. What the fuck is wrong with me? What the fuck is wrong with me today? Imagine if a Klingon warship went to the Delta Quadrant instead of Voyager. Help! Who's the chat down here? Kazon, get wrecked. Oh, that would be funny, but like terrible. Hear me out on this, but instead of having those phaser bank strip things on the outside of the ship, how about making every inch of the hull being phaser banks? That's cursed. That sounds cursed. In all honesty. I'm just gonna say it. I'm hearing you out, but that sounds cursed. Like, also like, what, phasers consume a lot of energy, so like, not even the Borg could fight. The Borg could still fight it though, because they could adapt the frequency. The Borg, not warp. Look, even if we assume the replicators give the Federation, like, infinite resources, that still seems like that would be a lot. I feel like if that was technically possible... Okay, but here's the thing too, though. What about the materials that the phaser banks are out of? Like, you couldn't support that on the whole ship, could you? Like, I think that you'd overheat your whole hull. You'd have to design a whole new, like, hull structure and everything. Because you have the heat, you have the power, and you have, like, but the power's the big one. There's no way a single warp core is gonna power that. Steal it from the Klingons. Wait, steal what from the Klingons? The warp cores? The resources? No! Well, that would defeat the purpose of the Federation not being fucking pirates. Well, because the thing too is like, one of the things that's interesting, and this is a deep cut, so like, I apologize, but I also don't. So one of the things about like the theoretical like infinite resources thing in Star Trek is like that technically you have to have energy to replicate things, right? So where are they getting the infinite supply of energy? Like, do they have all wind power? Like they've got to do something, because it can't be fossil fuels, because those are not sustainable into the 24th century. Like, even without all of the things that happened that led to the Star Trek universe being a thing, even like all that didn't happen, like if we as a species want to live into the 24th century, we are gonna have to find different sources of energy. So it's like they have fusion, antimatter reactions, and other renewables. But like the thing is, it's like did they my thing too is it's like did they did they solve like the problems that there are with nuclear power? Like did they solve that by then? And also the thing too is it's like is antimatter like where was I going with this? I was thinking about like the ships versus like the planet. It's like I'm just thinking like how they power like the entire planet and also like all the other planets. Like I don't know. Antimatter reactors produce a lot of energy. I mean, fair. Maybe that's what I'm forgetting is the antimatter capabilities. I'm just like, because I was like, there's no way that they're churning out like, but it still like wouldn't theoretically be infinite. Like unless you had other like multiple sources, because like I can imagine like I don't know, they're having like a little windmill up there churning up the power. There's probably some like hobbyist that like is probably like has a whole like wind power plant for fun up in the middle of nowhere. I can see that being a Star Trek universe thing. If antimatter generators were more like collectors. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about antimatter and stuff to have like a fully formed theory, but I'm just like, I don't know. Feels like even if it generates a lot of energy, it feels like you can't have like truly infinite energy, because like where does the antimatter come from? You know, like are they making it? But like there's some things that they say like you can't like replicate, because I don't think they can replicate dilithium because they have to go mine it. So it's like there's things that can't be replicated. I don't know. There's so many things that if you think too deeply about, things start to fall apart, but oh well. They collect antimatter from space around them, but is space like infinite? You know what? IRL, we don't even know if antimatter can be utilized. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at a theory. I'm not looking at obviously real because we don't know. But I was like, but my thing is, it's like, because what we do know about antimatter, that's just what I was looking up, is that like it's not like it's naturally like occurring, but it's like there's not like there's not like a lot of it that they found. Like IRL fusion is going commercial next year. Oh yeah, I heard about that a little bit. I didn't read into it too much because like I know that like I really need to look in more to like the nuclear stuff and everything, because it's like I know that there's a lot of misinformation about it that goes around, and so I definitely don't want to I don't want to like read from like sources that are not reliable, but I also am like sometimes I'm like I don't know what to think about it, because it's like all I hear about is all the people like, here's why we can't do nuclear because here's all the disasters that have happened, and it's like but it's like I don't know if like if they like resolved that or what. Like the 7th generation fusion reactor the company is launching can produce like 5 to 10 times more energy than the 6th generation. But yeah, because that's, but my only thing is like, what if it, like what is the procedure like if something goes wrong? Like, have they updated those procedures like as well? Which honestly, really anything is better than fossil fuels from my personal standpoint, but like, it's just like, you know, see, I have to, with fusion, if it breaches, it's safe. Oh, okay, so like, they have like updated like the procedures and stuff, because I know, I don't know, because I knew like, I never once felt that, even with all the earthquakes going on, I never once felt like unsafe in Japan, but I know like, all I heard from like other, like my fellow Americans at the same university was all about how like, oh, what if an earthquake happens and a nuclear reactor blows up and we're here for the next like nuclear disaster? And I'm just like, but like the likelihood of that happening seems kind of low. I guess this expanding cools due to its heat from it being compressed. Yeah, I like I said, I need to read more about it because I know theoretically kind of what it is, but I haven't looked into it enough to like know all of what's up. Okay, it's time for event time. Who wants to come to play something? A lot of fear in nuclear fission is mainly spread from big oil companies. And yeah, oh wait, which one are you? Are you... Oh. Forgot to reply to that friend request. Oh, I assume this is you, Snips. Okay, yeah. Team invite. Which one, though? Which TFO? Defensive Starbase 1, they said, was going up and down, so I want to stay away from that one, probably. That's the one I usually do. Remain Klingon is, I think, the one that was fun. Battle at the Binary Stars, that one is okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think either this one or Remain Klingon. Or is it... I don't know, I haven't done this one in a while, so let's do that one. Why not? Oh, that was fast. Okay. But yeah, that's the thing too, is like, that's what I was saying, is I was like, I need to find good sources about it that aren't biased from either direction, because it's like, you know, under capitalism, anybody with a profit motive is probably gonna be like really biased toward the thing that's gonna make them profit. So it's like,
Thank you for coming.
and we have so much like propaganda surrounding like, you know, different energy things because of the oil industry that, you know, is objectively terrible. Like I said, it was like, in my opinion, honestly, like, that's not even a political opinion. That's just the way it is. We know that fossil fuels are bad for the planet. Like, that's just it's a fact at this point, and it shouldn't be political, but somehow it is. Missile spam ahoy. This should be fun. Here we go. All right, zoom. Ah! I have a Borg beam. There we go. defend the USS Shenzhou. Okay. I didn't actually read the objectives before. I was just like, oh, cool. Battle time. I didn't think this one was, like, exceedingly complex or anything. I think it was Remain Klingon that took me a little bit to get the hang of what was going on there. It was one of these that I was doing for the event. But yeah, my thing about nuclear power is, like, I've always thought, like, if we could get it to work, like, why would we not use it? But, you know, that reason is because, like, people don't want to lose their oil money. But it's like, look, it's like your money is no good if the planet is dead. It's simply just not. It's like nobody cares if you're a billionaire if everything is burning. I don't know, have y'all heard about, this is like a specific, like, local thing to me, but have y'all heard about, like, what's happening to the Great Salt Lake in Utah? Like, it's basically, like, just slowly shriveling up and dying. So it's like, it was, cause I remember, like, cause if you drive out, what is it, west from Salt Lake City, like, all the way out there towards Nevada, you basically pass by the lake at some point, and it used to be that you'd see water pretty close to where the freeway is, but recently when I've been out there, like the past couple years, it's like there's you can't quite see the water. Like the water's like all the way out. Like it looks like it's like a mile out. It's so far. So it's like it's clear. That's clearly a concern because, you know, we need that water to like that's kind of what like maintains the environment the way it is. And so it's like, well, there's gonna be major consequences if that thing just goes, because nobody in this state cares about the planet. Like, oh, freeze, frozen.
Data coming.
Oh.
Data coming in. Both the Jaeger
Oh.
and the
Can you do better? Is that a challenge?
The Clark and Jaeger are disabled. They're working at escape pod. Recover the survivors. The Klingons just tracked Lieutenant Tyler's escape pod.
Ah, shit. I was doing something. Oh look, it looks like we already did better than history, because that's more than 19. How many are there? Okay. Oh, there's more. Yay.
Attention, Klingon leader.
Confirm. Where? Indeed, you are here. Your offer of a ceasefire is accepted.
Nope.
Good. Because we're fighting, we're not talking.
Cutscene time.
To the sheath, my envoy.
Explosion! I forgot about this cutscene. Cursed. R.I.P. Okay. Yeah, some of these event TFOs, I feel like I haven't played them in so long, and like, I only vaguely remember they existed at all. I like that this event has like a lot of options though. Like, I enjoy that, so I don't get too tired out of Defense of Starbase 1. Tractor beam. Hell yeah. Why did I click that? Whatever. I don't think it matters. Oh, there we go. Get this bad boy out. Okay. Oh, bye.
I call too close to Klingon territory. You only live now to serve as witnesses of Klingon supremacy. To be my herald. We do not desire to know you, but you will know our great houses, standing as one under Kalish, reborn in me. Dogma.
I think we've seen enough
Okay.
now. Not the
Cool. We are done. The stretch. Oh, I will do the stretch in a moment. It's almost about time for me to be done for the night. It's starting to get dark outside. Yeah, there we go. But I did all the endeavors. That was a fun time. Ah! Ah! Okay, hopefully that did not hear the cracking into the mic. That's the one problem with stretch redeems is like every time I stretch it's like crack. So yeah, it's nearly 1 a.m. for me. Well, that must be nice. Yeah, I stream my time. I usually start my streams at 3 p.m. And they usually go till like 5 p.m. Like right now it's like 5:36. So yeah, but I would stream for like longer, but I usually don't because I have chronic problems and sitting for too long makes them so much worse. So oh, you're from the UK? Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I know I have a couple people that because my streams are like not too late in the day that European viewers come to view sometimes. So my country we have 1:36 a.m. Yeah, time zones are fun. But yeah, I'm about ready to sign off for the day because I got other stuff to do. Gotta work on that idle PowerPoint for that panel. Oh, I've also got a convention next weekend for a different thing that I've got stuff to do for. It's like, look, I don't know how some people do all of this same work that I'm doing while also having a full-time job. It's so wild to me. Yeah. I mean, right now, like, my main job is, like, just freelancing and this, but, anyway. I do so much stuff, and I sign on to things because I feel bad what's like if it's something like I'm able to do, like I feel bad if somebody else is doing it in like my various like groups and organizations and stuff. If somebody else is like busting their ass already at their like job that, you know, helps them live, and I'm like, I have all this spare time, like let me help you, but I forget that the whole reason I have spare time is because I can't have a full-time job because my body doesn't work right. So it's like, you know, I need to get better at like actually relaxing sometimes, but today is not that day, and this month and next month is not that month, so yeah, we'll see. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming to my stream. Who else is live? Let me see who we can raid. This is like I'm not able to work because my body doesn't work either, so gaming all the way. God, see, here's my problem. The gaming is just as bad as working for me, technically. So I really need to, I do not game too much. I am nice to myself. That's why my streams are not 6 hours long. Because even if I take a like walk break in the middle for like 10 minutes, that's still too much like sitting in the same position. But yeah, and I still don't know 100% like what is, what even is up with me. And that's the worst part. It's because I don't know if more exercise is gonna help, less exercise is gonna help. Like, nobody can tell me. So I just kind of do what, like, feels good, and I have pain meds to take care of the rest. So that's actually part of why I'm able to stream a little bit longer, because before I was ending a lot of streams after, like, an hour because I'd just be in so much pain. But actually I have, like, new meds that are kind of helping, so now I can stream for like a normal streamer. Yay! Yeah, I'm still hoping that I'll get like eventually some sort of improvement so I can kind of like at the very least like do this bullshit a little bit more seriously. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm trying to also get better at like I recently like made sure I had like more stuff on like my laptop and phone, because I can't really game on my laptop or phone, and also like gaming in bed is even worse for my wrists. But sometimes if there's like a small task I need to do, like try to make it so I can do those on like other devices more, so I'm not at my PC in this exact chair I think I've thought about getting a different chair too, but this is my cute pink gaming chair, and all the other ones are like ugly colors. Even though this chair, I had to put like a pillow on the back of it because the my shoulders are slightly too wide for it, because for some reason they make the pink ones like smaller. Like I'm not a big huge person, but I'm tall and I have like a larger bone structure, so like I'm not like small and dainty. If I was like shorter, they probably would hit me differently, but I am not short. I am tall. Damn it. Okay. I'm in constant pain too. I have EDS and fibromyalgia with some other stuff. Yeah, that's the thing, is they can't tell me what I have, except it's probably some form of arthritis. They can't find, this is like the fun, current Jazi medical update, but they can't find any damage, so they can't diagnose me with, any sort of autoimmune arthritis, even though I have all the symptoms of that. So until there is joint damage, they will not treat me for it because they want to make sure that's that. I'm like, yeah, but also like, so you're telling me that even though everything hurts and I have all the other symptoms, that we have to wait until my joints harm themselves until I can receive treatment. Yay, US healthcare. God. Though actually, I do have a friend in the UK who's actually dealing with a very similar journey. So maybe it's not just the US, but it's definitely a special kind of hell in the US, because like I am like thousands of dollars into this little journey, and I've only been like seeking a diagnosis for like a year. Honestly, doctors can be a joke sometimes. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I try to not rant about it too much on here because I don't want to say anything that's gonna like get me in trouble or anything, because I know that happens to a lot of people on TikTok. They out what happens in their doctor's appointments and then they get in trouble and can't get care anymore. So I was like, I mostly keep my mouth shut here. I more rant about the general systemic things that are a problem, because God knows there's a lot of them. And honestly, that can keep me on a rant for like forever about like, because my big thing is like the misogyny that happens. Misogyny is a big issue. The lack of care for people's mental health when it comes to specialists in like the physical realm, and then on the other side it's like, because it's like your mental health people don't understand the physical stuff, so they can't help you with that. And it's like, it's not like I'm expecting like the help from it, it's just the sensitivity to it, you know? I feel like that should be like a requirement for doctors. Okay, there's not really anybody on Star Trek Online right now. It's just me and some German people. I don't speak enough German. Oh, wait. Anybody have any raid ideas? Otherwise, I'm just gonna pick somebody randomly from my following list who's not doing Star Trek Online right now. Somebody's playing Minecraft. I like Minecraft sometimes. I dislocated my hip 5 years ago. I've had pain ever since that. Oh, really? Nobody looked at it? Okay, I'm done with this specific clinic, so I think I am safe to say this. I was in physical therapy for like almost 2 months and receiving I was getting very little improvement. It was for my right shoulder, but I kept having issues because I would do them on both sides to make sure the strength was even, like all the different exercises. and I kept having issues pop up with the left shoulder. And there was a particular male therapist at the place that would kind of like gaslight me a little bit on it. Like, oh, well, they x-rayed your shoulders, so don't you think if there was something wrong with the left shoulder, they would have caught it? I'm like, well, not necessarily. Because now at this point I've had an MRI on both shoulders and there's nothing they can find in there. But the way it was explained to me by my specialist is that if it is a functional issue, it might not necessarily pop up on an MRI, which I thought the MRI went in and saw everything. No, because there are certain connective tissue problems that if you are like, not dislocating it, but if you are like loosening those tissues, those aren't gonna be like visible when you're laying still. So like it would basically, they said like there would basically theoretically you'd have to have like a video MRI, which is not something that exists yet, and like move it around while they scan it type thing, and that would be the only way to detect something like that. So the only way that this can be like determined like what's going on is, you know, somebody to like be knowledgeable about that type of issue. But yeah, it's like, yeah, but there's so many things in the human body that can go wrong, and it's like you have all these doctors, like somebody's got to know, but the like the process to try to get to there is so incredibly frustrating. Like I think like anybody who has had any sort of like chronic issue, I think like gets this, or really anybody who has like any major medical problem ever probably gets this, unless you're somehow like just perfect, which in that case I envy you, because I wish. But yeah, and I don't think like, because for me I don't think that EDS has been considered for me just because I don't have a lot of the symptoms. But I know that like I know people like in real life who have EDS, and we kind of share similar similar functional issues. So I don't think I have that, but it's like there's so many things that are like that too, that have like different issues with them and everything. So it's like yeah, it's like we can all like commiserate together and share tips and stuff. Because I actually somebody that I talked to who has EDS, I actually learned a lot from, just in terms of ways that like if you have a looser joint, like you can protect it. And I was like, I would have never known, because nobody has like told me this. But it's like, you know, if something works for you, it doesn't really matter what the diagnosis is, because it's like it works for you, you know? And I feel that way about a lot of things. It's like if something helps, then do it. You don't need permission from some doctor to use a tip that is helping you, because it doesn't matter what the underlying thing is, as long as you're not like hurting it. But a lot of the time it's like, look, our bodies usually tell us when there's a problem, because like it'll be like stiff or in pain or anything, you know? But yeah, yeah, love talking about you know, the chronic illness thing here. This is a safe support space for everybody. So I have a lot of things in my Discord. What's up? Okay, I need to go check my Discord for sure. All right, definitely signing off soon. What works for me is loads of opioids, because nothing else is removing the pain. Yeah, see, I'm lucky that I haven't gotten to that point yet. Like, right now I'm still on like a basic-ish anti-inflammatory, but a prescription one, because apparently my body doesn't like ibuprofen. That's the other thing that's fun. My body hates everything that goes inside of it. That sounded really bad, but you know what? I stand by it. I stand by it. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Oh wait, my body doesn't hate naproxen. That's the one thing it doesn't hate. And this prescription that I'm on. But anyway, I gotta go. I have things that I've gotta do today. But thank you everybody for coming. if you want to see my weekly schedules or when I announce a surprise stream like this one, the best place for that is to join my Discord. We also have like a fleet in there, a fun community, and we talk about Star Trek, and we have a spoiler channel. That's where I've been discussing Picard with everybody. So it's like, oh my god, all my reactions are in the server. This episode was fucking wild. But yeah, so I have that. The mod applications are also in there for anyone who might be interested. And you can also follow me on Twitter or Tumblr, whichever one you are on. I need to get better at posting on my Tumblr. Definitely trying to. Instagram as well. What else have I not said? Oh yeah, I have Patreon. Patreon is a good, fun thing. Gives me more money than Twitch does. And yeah, that is probably about it. We're gonna go watch some Minecraft streams. So, thank you so much everyone again. Hopefully I will see some of you next time, and stick around for the raid!